this because it seems like Byron Scott has put this out there, right, as the barometer. He'll decide if the season is a success because of these things. Are they buying into what he's talking about? Do you believe that the Laker team, as you see it now, is buying into what Byron Scott is talking about?
Not all of them. The young guys are not.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and
especially D'Angelo Russell.
And Nick Young hasn't gotten the memo yet.
Is having a hard time with everything that Byron Scott said because he wants to be a starter and he wants to finish games. Julius Randle, I think, is starting to come around. His play has improved. He's been averaging double-double for the last 10, 15 games. But it's impossible to have people buy in when you have the big, huge eclipse of Kobe Bryant there.
All right, so the point number 2 here,
right, number 2.
If our communication is still going great, if they understand that I still want the best for those guys, do you believe that the communication is still going great and the guys believe Byron wants the best?
I think they're learning that. But when you're talking to a 19-year-old or 21-year-old kid, it's like talking to your own kids. They hear what you have to say, but they aren't listening to what you have to say all the time. So it's gotten better, but it's a two-way street. Byron has to communicate with them. They have to communicate with him. They have to share thoughts and ideas. So there's some improvement, but it's still not the best.
All right, BT, we're talking with Brad Turner, the great basketball writer for the LA Times, LATimes.com. Of all the things that happened last night at Staples Center, the Clippers beating the Spurs, Blake and Matias testing the same place for the first time, in public, all the furor around the big trade. The thing that caught my eye the most was Jamal. We're sitting in the locker room before the game. Jamal Crawford walks right to BT and says, "Why are you wearing purple?" Now, what was that all about, BT? What does Jamal have with you in purple?
I look good in every color, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
So you stop that, Jill. Thank you tonight. Those guys, you need to stop it. It was lavender. Come on.
Yeah, it's a little close to Laker.
It wasn't. It was like I had a purple suit on, like I was some kind of cartoon character.
But all the players comment on how BT dresses. Would that be accurate, BT? They all comment on how
look
nice
what I'm up
dress.
against, Bill. Look what you were wearing last night. I mean, I could have worn sack. That's what it had to be.
Well, Brad, he borrowed that sack this morning, so thanks for loaning it to him. You brought up a name, Jamal Crawford, and it hit me this morning. What an incredible blessing to get through this trade deadline, and Jamal Crawford's name didn't come up, and it shouldn't have come up. Because the Clippers aren't ready to let go of him. Did you ever have any kind of conversation with that? Was that part of a conversation with Jamal last night of just getting through a trade deadline without fear and watching the phone and the conversations?
This time, no. But in past years, yes. During the All-Star break, he and I would text, and he would wonder, is he being traded somewhere? But the Clippers need him. You're right. I mean, he is the best player they have off the bench. He is their third, fourth leading scorer. Whatever you say about him, he can put the ball in the basket, and they need that. And they can't afford to move him with Austin Rivers being out, with Prigiani being hurt last night, and not knowing if Wes Johnson is going to be a good player, inconsistent player, not make shots. So they need Jamal a lot, and he's a free agent when the season is over.
Yeah, we've seen his point guard skills called upon this year. He kind of dusted those off, and I've just been impressed. And it's funny, the timing, it couldn't happen to a better guy to be having this kind of a season, and he's going to be available in the offseason.
Well, his point guard skill reminds me of Bill Plaskey's point guard skill.
All right, you know what? I got another BT story to tell you last night. So we're standing there on the watching warm up. Out walks Grant Hill. Oh, BT! Any player that walks by BT, hey BT, how you doing? Hey, they're hugging and they're talking.
Right.
So before I know it, BT's pulled out his tape recorder and he's gone from a fun conversation to taping Grant Hill for a story. Just kind of, you were so sly in doing that, BT. Now, what was the story you're working on?
I'm working on a story on Kawhi Leonard.
That's right.
And let me tell you what, as I told Grant, either we talk here,